Welcome back for part two. So I'm Toto, and you decide who you are. Let's talk a minute about the wizard, because what I'm suggesting is that you think of governments around the world as the wizard. I count a number of countries that are doing everything they can to change your behavior. They're lowering interest rates. They have various versions of quantitative easing where they're literally pumping money into the economy, trying to make you spend money. And what we've learned in quick summary, we'll go through the details. See, if you want to get a sense of what the economy is doing, it's not as complicated, all that. It's not a random walk on Wall Street. And yes, there are a lot of variables, and no one can see the future. But the primary driver, particularly in the US of A, is looking at ordinary people doing very predictable things. I mean, we'll show you some examples of that. But let's, as I say, don't get sidelined by the headlines. So many of us are relieved that Greece is back on the sidelines, or don't seem to be so worrisome yet. And I do mean yet. They'll be back. We will hear from them again. That's how it looks to me. But the real point is we came across, as we showed in one of our previous works, YahooFinance did a poll of 6,886 investors. And 23% of those nearly 7,000 people said to the question, we call this slipped on Greece, as a Greek exit from the EU looms, is your portfolio protected? 23%, roughly 2 out of 10 people who responded, said yes. We want you in that category because what's the reverse of that? 35% said no outright, and 42% said I have no idea. Certainly sounds like no to me. So let's see, 35 plus 42, that's 77%. That's nearly what, over 7 out of 10, almost 8 out of 10 people don't have a clue. Now, as I like to say, it's not about the prediction, folks. It's all about the preparation. I mean, we're here in Southern California, and if there's a 7.6 earthquake that happens in Catalina and you live in Malibu, do you want to be in the news or on the news? Well, if I live in Malibu and there's a 7.6 earthquake, I want to be on the news telling my story as opposed to in the news people telling my story. You see the distinction? So let's look a little bit further, because when it comes to watching what ordinary people are doing, it's the facts that most of us in this country do a couple of things right off the bat. We start working at around age 20, and then we move for job opportunity around age 25, 26. By the way, that's the same age that people around the world move for job opportunity, whether it's across the country or across the waters. We're doing exactly the same thing. So let's get into the details as far as looking at ordinary people doing very predictable things and drilling down to what might be driving this economy in a way that you can understand it. Stay tuned.